Welcome back to Sports Day Tribune. I'm Noah, and we've got some interesting news to discuss today. Let's dive into the world of WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark and a recent social media stir involving her boyfriend, Connor McCaffery. Now, we all know how social media can be a breeding ground for speculation and drama, and this time, it's centered around an Instagram story posted by comedian Theo. The story featured Connor McCaffery, Caitlin Clark's boyfriend, at what appeared to be a birthday celebration. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, not according to some fans on X, formerly known as Twitter. The video showed McCaffery surrounded by what are commonly referred to as bottle girls. You know, the women who serve drinks at VIP tables and clubs. Now, while this is a pretty standard scene at many parties, some fans weren't too thrilled about it. One Caitlin Clark fan account went as far as to suggest that Clark should distance herself from McCaffery. They wrote, and I quote, "Get him away from CC this instant, she deserves better." Now, that's quite a strong reaction to a party video, wouldn't you say? Another user chimed in with their 2 cents, saying, "The way he is eyeballing and dancing with that woman, and then realizes he is on camera. He was looking at her like she was his next snack. Nah, that man ain't faithful, LOL." Ouch. That's a pretty hefty accusation based on a short video clip, and the comments didn't stop there. One fan dramatically exclaimed, "That's not what my queen deserves." It seems some of Clark's supporters have some strong opinions about her relationship choices. But hold on, let's take a step back here. Before we get carried away with assumptions and judgments, it's important to remember that we're only seeing a small snippet of what was likely a much larger event. And let's not forget, Theo, who posted the story, is actually a friend of both Caitlin and Connor. Thankfully, some level-headed fans stepped in to offer a more balanced perspective. One user wisely pointed out, "Nobody needs to be making assumptions. We know nothing about what's going on, and Theo is a friend of Caitlin's. Calm down." And you know what? They've got a point. It's easy to jump to conclusions, but we really don't have the full picture here. Another fan brought up a valid point, saying, "Has no one ever went out and had fun on their birthday?" Friends surprised him with this. "It's hilarious. Just let people have fun and laugh. Everyone has to make something out of nothing all the time." And isn't that the truth? Sometimes a party is just a party, folks. One commenter summed it up nicely, stating, "Don't be making assumptions. We don't know anything about their relationship. Leave it alone." And honestly, that's probably the best advice we've heard so far in this whole situation. Let's take a moment to remember that these are real people we're talking about. Caitlin Clark and Connor McCaffery are young adults navigating their lives in the public eye, which can't be easy. It's natural for fans to feel invested in their favorite athletes' lives, but there's a line between support and invasive speculation. Now, for those who might not be familiar with Connor McCaffery, let's take a quick look at who he is and how he fits into Caitlin Clark's life. McCaffery is more than just Caitlin Clark's boyfriend. He's a former University of Iowa basketball player who's now pursuing a coaching career with the Indiana Pacers. That's a pretty impressive path in its own right. Clark and McCaffery's relationship began in the spring of 2023 when they were both students at the University of Iowa. Their connection to basketball is clear, and it seems to be a strong foundation for their relationship. With Clark now playing for the Indiana Fever and McCaffery coaching for the Pacers, they've managed to keep their relationship going strong despite the demands of their respective careers. In fact, Clark herself has spoken about how McCaffery's presence in Indiana has made her transition to professional basketball easier. In her own words, "It's great. Obviously, it makes the transition a little bit easier. You've got people that know the city, and obviously Connor being there is tremendous. I couldn't imagine a better place to start my professional career." It's clear that she values his support and presence as she embarks on this new chapter in her life. While Clark and McCaffery have largely kept their relationship private, fans have naturally been curious, especially given Clark's rising status as a sports icon. We got a glimpse into their relationship on McCaffery's birthday when Clark shared a heartfelt message on social media. She wrote, "Happy birthday, Con. Celebrating you is easy. Thankful to have someone as selfless and as loving as you in my life. May this be the year you finally find a way to outshoot me." Love you always. Now that's a sweet message that shows the playful and supportive nature of their relationship. It's worth noting that relationships in the public eye can be challenging. There's constant scrutiny, and every action or social media post can be dissected and analyzed by fans and critics alike. It's a lot of pressure for anyone to handle, let alone young adults who are still figuring out their place in the world. The reaction to this Instagram story is a prime example of how quickly things can spiral in the world of social media. A simple birthday celebration can turn into a heated debate about relationship dynamics and fidelity. It's a reminder of the double-edged sword that is fame. While it brings adoration and opportunities, it also opens the door to intense scrutiny and unsolicited opinions. But let's take a moment to consider the bigger picture here. Caitlin Clark is making waves in the WNBA, bringing fresh energy and excitement to the league. Her skills on the court are what truly matter, and that's where our focus should be. Her personal life, including her relationship with Connor McCaffery, is just that, personal. As fans and observers, it's natural to be interested in the lives of our favorite athletes, but there's a fine line between interest and intrusion. It's important to remember that at the end of the day, these are real people with real feelings. They're entitled to their privacy and to celebrate milestones like birthdays without every moment being analyzed and critiqued. Moreover, it's crucial to approach these situations with a healthy dose of skepticism. Social media, while a powerful tool for connection, can also be a breeding ground for misinformation and hasty judgments. A few seconds of video or a single photo doesn't tell the whole story of a person's life or relationship. In the case of Caitlin Clark and Connor McCaffery, we're looking at two young professionals who are supporting each other as they navigate their careers in the high-pressure world of professional sports. Their relationship seems to be built on a foundation of mutual understanding, shared experiences, and genuine affection. Clark's success in the WNBA is a testament to her hard work, dedication, and incredible talent. She's breaking records, inspiring young athletes, and bringing new attention to women's basketball. These are the accomplishments we should be celebrating and discussing. As for McCaffery, he's carving out his own path in the basketball world. Transitioning from player to coach is no small feat, and it speaks to his passion for the game and his desire to contribute to the sport in a new capacity. His support for Clark's career and his own professional pursuits paint a picture of a balanced, mutually supportive relationship. It's also worth considering the role of friends in this situation. Theo, the comedian who posted the Instagram story that sparked this debate, is a friend of both Clark and McCaffery. Friends often play a significant role in our lives, especially when navigating the challenges of a high-profile career and relationship. The fact that they have shared friends who celebrate with them is a positive sign, not something to be viewed with suspicion. In the grand scheme of things, a birthday celebration with friends is a normal, even expected occurrence. The presence of bottle girls at such an event is standard in many nightlife settings and doesn't inherently imply any impropriety. Jumping to conclusions based on such limited information does a disservice not only to Clark and McCaffery, but also to the concept of trust and privacy in relationships. As we wrap up this discussion, I think it's important to remember a few key points. First, Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal athlete who's making history in the WNBA. Her relationship status doesn't define her or her achievements. Second, social media can be a window into people's lives, but it's often a very small, carefully curated window. We shouldn't make sweeping judgments based on such limited information. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, let's remember to treat public figures with the same respect and consideration we'd want for ourselves. They're human beings with complex lives, relationships, and emotions. Our role as fans is to support their professional endeavors, not to dissect every aspect of their personal lives. In the end, what matters most is what happens on the court. Caitlin Clark continues to dazzle fans with her skills, breaking records and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in women's basketball. That's where our attention should be focused. As we move forward, let's celebrate the achievements of these young athletes and professionals. Let's appreciate the hard work, dedication, and passion they bring to their respective fields. That's all for now from Sports Day Tribune. I'm Noah, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball and your mind open to the complexities of life both on and off the court. Until next time.